Listen. They're gonna be here soon. They're gonna find me. Before they do, I need you to watch this quickly. Please, you have to watch, please. Hey, stop it! I've been made! Are you alright, sir? Oh, no. Please tell me you weren't watching that. And it's already been 6.14 seconds. Unfortunately, that's the exact amount of time it takes for the effects to kick in. Unfortunately, I can't let you leave this room alive. I mean, I guess I could give you an explanation, at the very least. It started about a month or two ago. I guess there was an outbreak of a mimetic cognitohazard. We don't know the details. This thing is so recent it doesn't even have a classification yet. I guess it makes people go to this website called My Anime List and give a higher score to this anime than they should. I mean, yeah, that's no reason to kill people, but what the council says goes, and you can never be too sure, right? Oh, you don't have to worry about me. MTF Tau 5. We've got cognitohazardous obstruction built into the helmets. Go Power Rangers, am I right? Anyway, it all started when this anime came out. It was like Shikanoko, Koko Doko. I don't speak Japanese. I watch English dubs. Apparently, my dear friend Nokotan came out, and the intro alone is enough to break your brain into a million little pieces. And that's a shame, because it's probably the best part of the anime. I mean, there's a Dark Souls reference. When I saw that, I had to pause it and rewind it. No, look, I told you, it doesn't affect us. Or I'm sorry, do you want me to get the job done now, or do you want your explanation?
Shikanoko, Koshitantan.
Still alive. Look, all I'm saying is, apart from doing that to your brain, it's a pretty good intro. Here, let me finish the job. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, speaking of intros, the intro to this anime is pretty weird. I mean, it starts off talking about young maidens in a garden and their hearts and bodies being unsullied. I mean, look, any anime that starts off talking about a high school girl's unsullied body is maybe a little bit too Japanese for me, you know what I mean? And that intro is just the start of a series of back and forths for the anime. I mean, on one hand, some of the bits in here are like comedy gold, had me laughing out loud, and had to take off my helmet because I was sweating a bit too much. And then some of them are just weird and pointless and, you know, sort of making you wonder what your purpose was, you know, when you woke up today. You know, what are you really doing on this earth? What is the meaning of your existence? And if your life does have meaning, why are you watching whatever the hell you're watching right now? And going back and forth between that elation from the really funny parts and the sense of dread you get from the parts that don't really make any sense. I mean, if there was ever a time to do drugs watching a TV show, this is the time. Don't do drugs, kids. That's a message from the Power Rangers. And I'm not messing around when I say those words. I really do mean a sense of dread. It reminded me of the extraction from Site 13. Man, that was crazy. Look, it just makes you feel terrible, wondering if the next bit you're going to see is something that's really and genuinely funny, or is something that's going to send you on a mental spiral and wonder what the fucking point of your existence is. It's not fun. That kind of back and forth, you want consistency for the most part. And some of the highs in here are like an 8 or a 9 in terms of comedy, but the lows are so unbelievably low. So I understand why people want to give it a little bit of credit, but I mean a 7? It's got a 7 on my anime list. Granted, so did Blue Archive, and we should probably look into that too. But between me dogging on this anime and you ruminating on the final moments of your life, we should probably look on the bright side. I mean, some parts of this are genuinely funny, so obviously it's got that going for it. And on top of that, they've got these little sections in the middle of each episode where they show off different parts of Japan, like real life photos with the characters photoshopped in. And the first ones were in Nara, and I recognized those landmarks because I've been there before. It was pretty cool to see that. Why was I there? I mean, I guess you can know. You're not going to leave here alive anyway. We had a joint mission with the Global Occult Coalition this one time. Had to go to Japan to deal with some monsters running around. Yeah, man. Did you know Godzilla's real? Because I didn't before that. Oh, that job was awesome. Anyway, they keep that up for the rest of the show, where they have these intermissions in the middle of each episode, and they have these pictures of deer with the characters photoshopped in. It's nice to see. It's a good little break from this show, from the sense of dread I was telling you about. And Japan is just a beautiful place, so every time I see those photos, oh god, it takes me back. Speaking of which, the outro does the same exact thing. They use real-life footage from Nara Park, and they actually show you the process by which they make those little deer crackers that you can feed to the deer over there. It's pretty cool. I'd never seen anything like that before, and including that in the anime, that little educational section, that little behind the scenes, that was a neat little touch. I gotta give them credit where it's due. And that weird sort of meme-y sense of meta-humor is where the show shines and where it sinks. I mean, some of the moments that they have focused on meta-humor, like the fact that they're always in spring and winter time, that there's never been a summer, the fact that they're in their second year of being third years, I mean, all that type of stuff is pretty funny. But then they'll randomly break out into song, or there's this slow motion bit that they keep on bringing back over and over again. And maybe the first time it was confusing, the second time it was funny, maybe even the third time it was funny. But the fourth, fifth, and sixth times, you're just sort of watching a car crash in slow motion. At some point, all the meta-humor jokes kind of become annoying, and the pictures of deer are like a brief reprieve before you have to jump back into the shark-infested waters. The deer-infested... I don't know, shut up. On the bright side, all the characters are likable. You know, there's not a single unlikable character in the whole runtime. The problem is that the bits are unlikable, and that's a bigger issue in my opinion. It's kind of like they got the go-ahead to make this show with its name only, and then just decided to say fuck it and spin a wheel of ridiculous bullshit to see what bits make it in which episode. It's tiring, man. So I think there's a cut of this anime that I'd actually enjoy quite a bit. If you cut out all the parts that hurt my soul and only include the parts that made me laugh out loud, this could be as high as like an 8 or a 9. Like I said, some of it's really funny and it's probably worth seeing. But considering the parts that really make it an unenjoyable watch overall, I'd have to give it like a 6 out of 10, you know? It's just, you can't have me not enjoy the experience of watching the anime. Even if there are good things about it, if you don't enjoy the experience, then what are you doing? This is your free time. You gotta use it wisely. Speaking of time, it seems like yours is up, man. I'm sorry, you seem like a cool guy, but... Well, I mean, I guess if you want, we could stick around for a minute, watch a few more videos on this channel. This guy's pretty funny. I actually watch him all the time. But unfortunately, nah, can't let you leave. Look, I don't know if it's any consolation or if it'll make you feel better, but, I'll see you later, Space Cowboy.
How's that for a bit, you fucking deer?